Hello and welcome back to Fatal 12. Last episode we went through all the choices that we either did or did not pick. I think mostly just didn't pick, trying to find the right answer. I didn't wait long enough to see what you all thought. And basically got a sneak peek just to see how to get to this point. Basically, this is the turning point. We didn't have access to this point because of the choices we made in the past. But now, this should be completely new territory. And obviously, without further ado, let's see what happens when we don't work with Oddette. After all, she is quite the power player, but obviously, she will not win if we lose. So, we turn her down. Like hell, I accept that. Oh boy. You've been talking down to me this entire time. I know you're hiding something. You can't eliminate you on your own. You know Miharu and the others won't be able to learn his regret either. You said you were here to help me, but that's a lie. We're both on equal footing. I'd be helping you as well. So you ain't concerned with your dead pal. Are you deaf? I said as well, for a reason. Eliminating you, bringing back my friend, and preventing innocent people from getting caught up in the terrorist attack. You're the one who's going to help me accomplish that. There's a certain ferocity behind each of my every word. I mean, everything I've said to her. Mainly because I know. Rather, she's given me the hints. Her actions are determined by the thrill of that they bring her. She believes that you're better off dead if you can't enjoy life. I'll let her have her fun. Accepting her conditions would only deprive her of that. Perfect. That's exactly what I was hoping to hear. Sure, I'm paying a hefty price for that coffee, but whatever. Let's do this. Her actions aren't determined by logic. That's what matters here. I've made my decision. Oh, this is skippable. Okay. But that was new text. So I guess we'll see where this goes. Yeah. I think we'll have to... It'll be after we confront you and the final... Yeah, because we won't have the final... Well, I say the final. We won't be eliminated, will we? Anyway, I'll see you then. Or not, apparently. Apparently you'll see me still here. Settled in. I'm working with her now. In all honesty, it's reassuring. I guess I won't do the fade cuts this time. Just simply because, obviously... Well, it's going to be new text within, well, small things. I didn't think highly of her after hearing how she took Sonia's parents hostage. But she doesn't seem all that bad now that I've spoken to her in person. That said, there are aspects of her I don't understand. Why would she reveal her name to me without demanding anything in return? Surely that puts her at a disadvantage. There probably is no point in thinking about it. She's the sort of person who will blow your expectations out of the water if you try and think too hard. In that case, I'm better off going with the flow. Cool. This is another skippable. Ideally, I'll have the opportunity to talk things out with Miharu as soon as possible. I need to be careful about that, though. The others are only cooperating with her because they're under the impression that we're no longer friends. I turn to face Alan. Okay, skippable again. I look forward to where this leads you. And skippable. Okay, that one line was skippable. Fair enough. Any lines with you differently? I don't think so. I think we'll go for the whole conflict with you. Being able to work together with those two as equals have given me strength. I always thought we belonged in different worlds. That's not the case. They may outclass me when it comes to physical prowess and combat ability, but I've proved that I can stand them toe to toe when it comes to our determination. Let's do this. Those words represent my determination. And we'll confront you in the train. and we'll eliminate him, but I'm conflicted over what to do even now. Liking someone is the same as stripping away their right to live. So different from killing them. Yu's pain voice comes to mind, his heartfelt cry to the world, his battle with the contradiction born within him. I cast a glance over to him once again. He just looks like he's an average boy right now, hardly someone capable of terrorism. The wild look he showed me before is gone now. In fact, he seems to be at peace. Is he already elected? Does he feel relieved that he's finally being freed from his suffering? I can't tell from where I stand. He doesn't bother to say anything to me. Well, number one, she inquires as if she knows exactly what's going through my mind. As if she knows I'm about to elect you. It makes sense if observing the events of what happened in the real world. How she does that, I'm not sure. Not matters right now. I can't finish my sentence. I thought I was finally ready to accept the responsibility of throwing another person's life away on my own. I just can't say it. Are you really? It's a simple question, my dear. Will you elect someone or not? Why did I go through everything to obtain your regret card? I feel like I'll forget at this rate. But even so, I shall presume your answer is a no. Wait. Naomi's face comes to mind. Yu's actions will be undone with his elimination. That means what happened to Mecca will also be undone. If that can happen, then Naomi will... Put yourself together, Rinka. I muttered my own name under my breath. That's not a good reason. We can't shoulder anything together if I let such thoughts spur my actions. I'd just be using her as an excuse for my own weakness. I remind myself to make my decision based solely on my own judgment. If I'm going to eliminate him, it's because I choose to. My own regret comes to mind. I swore that I would live out my life. I'm going to elect someone. Well then. I straighten my back to regain my posture. My eyes fall directly on you following that. He still has the same gentle expression from before. It's the same expression from back when he first ate the dinner I made for him. Even so, I elect number 4. Is this skippable? It is. It's not. Never mind. I almost break a sweat when Odette's turn comes and goes without incident. That would have been the moment I got elected if I'd given her into her demand on Friday. Oh boy, who would have made that mistake of, siding with Oddette? In the end, the clock doesn't stop at anyone else. I'm the only one electing someone tonight. With that decided, numeral 1 and numeral 4 allow me to begin the election procedure. My platform begins to move in tandem with her statement. Yu's platform does the same. Both of us ascend to the upper stratum of the Court of Fate. Skippable? It is. You finally decided to kill me. Yeah. You finally set me free from my pain. Not quite. Only you can save yourself. Apologies for the wait. Let's commence with the election process, shall we? Wait a minute. What's that supposed to mean, Rinka? I thought you were going to kill me to help me. Parker urges us on, so I open my card book. All my cards fly out the moment I do. It seems that I need to pick the relevant ones in order. Your name is Yu, a name given to you by Shigetsugu, so I'm aware of how important it is to you. It's a lovely name. Fire was the cause of your death, a cause oddly intertwined with my own. If I'm being honest, I hated you for it before, but now I just feel sad about it. I picked his name and cause of death in succession. How about you forgive yourself already? No? I can't forgive you after you took Naomi's life. That being said, neither will anyone else if you keep denying yourself. You're no puppet, much less a hero. What you are is a human, as human as they come. That's the best I can do for him. When it all began, the words I left him with before dying stuck with him this whole time. As such, he had no choice but to deny both himself and his past. I lost my parents long after I was born, so no one can argue that I should have tried harder to understand you and your position. But the lives we led were far too different. I grew up providing for those around me, whereas you grew up taking from those around you. After all that, you met Shigetsugu. You learned to enjoy for providing for others, for another, and the possibilities it could open up to you. The possibility of leading a normal life. Not by your standards, but by those of the people like Shigetsugu and myself. That's what became your regret. I take all three of his cards in hand. That's why when it was so hard for you, wasn't it? You were simply handed a new life, and you never knew how to attain it on your own. That led you to denying the very concept of it. I won't forget you. Who? I finally understand why you will never understand one another. It's because we both started out the same. It's almost too cruel how things turned out. I'll be able to die human at least. That's normal, isn't it? Yeah. All three of my cards begin to move around on its own. Once they reach the middle of the Court of Fate, they come together and form a triangle shape. What follows is a sudden burst of light that swallows my surroundings. I'm glad I settled on you as the person to kill me. Oddly enough, our regrets are the same, to an extent. Both involve the concept of living irregular lives. The value of we held surrounding them were completely different, though. For me, it's all about what I already knew. For him, it was about what he had come to know. I can resent you all I want in death. You and me both. So what, are they friends or are they hating each other? The dialogue and their attitude seems very wishy-washy. Light from my cards envelop us both. It's bright enough that I can involuntarily squeeze my eyes shut, only to notice my conscience is leaving my body. I want to die. I hear a voice during this. I don't want to die, I don't want to... I could have lived a normal life. I don't want to die. No, please, no. Rinka Shigetsugu, I don't want to die. I still had so much of my life left. His voice became more and more distant. All I can do is listen. I listen to him revel in his true feelings then and there during his final moments. Flames envelop me. This is the sight I recognize. It's almost the exact same scenery I witnessed when I died, after all. My line of sight is much lower than usual, though. That's when I realized it. It's from Yu's perspective. He was sitting down after having crushed my throat. I'm human. I am. His lungs had lost their function. His skin was charred. His very cells had been obliterated. And now I'm a hero. His words fell on deaf ears. This is how it should be. As much as he tried to breathe, his blood refused to carry the oxygen. Not like the air could even reach his lungs at this point. Right, Mama? It was doubtful that he could even speak properly at this point. It wasn't a concern of his, though. He just did everything he could to try and speak his last words. He did it to convince himself, to reassert himself. It's not. But the effort didn't last for long. I don't want to die. His lungs were shot. He couldn't speak anymore. I don't want to die. Help. That's why those end up being his last words. He unleashed one final scream, marred with the regret and repentance. I don't know why. I don't know, my brain is just not... Anyway, his vision was dyed red following that. The flames burned away the contradiction and sins he bore. And now we get something new. A chance to survive, because Oddette does not have our names. Those were Yu's final moments, weren't they? Yu had already disappeared by this point. His final words to me were full of resentment. It's fine by me, though. I had everything he lacked, everything he wanted. And yet, I still found myself clenching my fists. If an afterlife really does exist, then at the very least, I can pray that it's a place where our growths during divine selection aren't forgotten. That might be even more painful for him, knowing that we considered knowing what we consider to be a regular life might cause him too much pain. Might cause him to panic, question himself. So long as he has the freedom to figure things out, he should be fine. Funny that I think such a thing when I don't believe in God or heaven, and yet we're dealing with a god of time, or a god of fate. I guess the goddess of fate. I apologize. Oh, how impressive for you to say that in the presence of a goddess. Yeah, shut up. Oh my, how scary. Allow me to show you the cards of number 4's possession. Please consider which one you would like to obtain as you descend. My platform begins to move, not giving me enough time to get 10 metal we used elimination. I can bring Naomi back now. You can't bring anyone back. You just have to sit back and let time rewrite itself. Not even that thought prevents me from feeling miserable. I have all of these already. So we have the same cards? Then what? Okay, Parker told me to choose whichever card I wanted, but you doesn't have any card I can take. Just those I already have, or ones that belong to those who have already been eliminated. The ones I already have are numeral 2 and numeral 9's names. Yeah, Miharu's and Skill Johnson's cards. That makes it obvious how little interest you've had in the Divine Selection. Well, if we take number 9's, we can eliminate 9 and potentially help Miharu, right? Thus, my very first selection comes to an end. It didn't feel very special, if anything. It only serves as a greater burden for my shoulders. Tonight's session resulted in 1 elimination. I bid you all farewell for now. I look over to the empty platform on which you once stood. I don't look at his platform though. Numeral 5, Shikatsugu's platform. Numeral 8, Keiko's platform. Numeral 10, Sonia's platform. Even the platforms of numeral 4 and 7, which belong to the people I never... 6 and 7. You is number 4. I even said this last time about you being 6 and 4 at the same time. I'm stupid. Anyway. I find myself brooding over each and every one of them. From what I'm learning on this pattern is, it pays to be either at the high end of the scale or the low end of the scale. Because we're next to Alan, who's number 12, because we're number 1. So yeah, we got, what, 11, 12, 1, 2, and 3. And the only person who's opposite us is number 9, who's scale. And even then, he's not that far opposite, because he's only got 1 gap between himself and Oddette. Still though, final 6 players, we know everyone's names. Anyway, the fog in my consciousness gradually begins to dissipate. I can sense somebody nearby. Who would be nearby? I think Mao. Mao is the only one who's kind of chaotic enough to try and ambush us. Either way though, let's go with Mao. Mao. Nope. You must have had an odd dream. Perhaps I should be happy for you if you had the luxury right after an election. We have dreams after an election? Either way, it's a Miharu though. Why are you in our house, by the way? Good morning, Rinka. Why are you here? First thing I see upon waking up is Miharu. She's in a school uniform all ready to go. That's a simple question. I'm the one who carried you back from the train. The press would have swarmed you if I took you to the hospital, especially once they figured out that you're the student out of Mecca. I couldn't let you go through that. Figured the world would do its thing right after the day passed, so it wasn't all that bad. How did you know that I was on the Yamanote line? My little alliance with Scale and them proved to be useful. Well, still, final 6. We have 4 enemies, if we imply that Miharu is an ally. I'm still not sure if they're trustworthy or not, but Skill's intel has been spot on at least. She slipped in a little extra comment about how she should have made her way over quicker. Did you spend all night by my side? I did have to go home to fetch my things, but yes, I couldn't leave you alone in your state. I'm gonna ask the very concerning question of, did you dress us in our pajamas? Don't know how to feel about that, to be fair. Like, regardless of Rinka's situation or not, if I wake up after being injured and find out I'm not in the clothes I had the injury in, I'm going to probably freak out. I'd rather wake up in tattered and damaged clothing than clothing that's not mine, or, you know. Anyway, that's a relief. Thanks. That's my line, you know. Well, I got you to see you were okay in the Court of Fate. Part of me was still worried that you wouldn't wake up again. That's true. We were at least unconscious for 12 hours. I'm not sure what went on while I was unconscious, but it looks like she did what she could to keep me out of trouble. And here I was worried about the possibility my real body was taken to hospital. Waking up only in my own room helped me to settle down a bit. I mean, that's true, we are protected. I guess at worst we would have been, like, slightly injured. Nothing too damaging. But now that Yu's actions have been undone, yeah. I'm a bit sore all around, but other than that, I seem to be fine. Isn't that because, mentally you still took the damage of the explosion? Like, some muscle memory sort of thing? Like, your brain remembers it, so the muscles think that they remember it, even though... I don't know. But there's one thing left for me to worry about. You must be wondering about how things have changed. Yu's actions had a big influence on the world at large, but things right now are different from what took place. I haven't had the time to figure it all out, but I can tell you what I know so far. So yes, so our memories aren't influenced. But you should get ready for school first. We've still got plenty of time, but the explanation will take a while. Following her advice, I get ready to make my way downstairs. It should be easier to talk things out down there. Yes, please get out of our room. You invite yourself inside. I know we were injured. I know she took care of us. Anyway, as always, I make some coffee for us both. Do we have the time? There's still an hour left before we have to leave. How early did you wake up if there's an hour before you have to go to school? Guess I woke up early, thanks to all the rest I got. Then what about me, Haru? It's been quite a while since we last got together like this. Ever since I lost all the will to go on. And it's all thanks to Mao coming over and the idea of you doing all you could to get me back on track. I can hardly blame you. Besides, I may have done all I could, but you were the one who accomplished what you set out to do in the end. Naomi's death. That's gotta be what she's on about it. Yu takes a deep breath before she starts. First and foremost, yesterday's incident. It became a case of sudden combustion due to an unknown circumstance. Lack of proper maintenance on the rail lines. So, the explosion still took effect. So if the explosion still took effect, it just took her away from the terrorist attack. Does that mean Naomi's still dead? Because that means there was still an explosion at Mecca's school, it just wasn't due to a terrorist attack. Like a proper maintenance of the rail lines and their deterioration over time, I guess. The case of Tokyo Tower has been completely undone, it seems, however. Who knows what happened to the memories of all those who watched you stream? It's entirely possible that they will be cases like Naomi, who still dream about the events that were undone. Well, it also could be whoever sees it as a prank. We're best off asking Mao. She's most likely to watch the stream than not. Based on that, we can surmise that Yu's actions themselves, albeit the physical changes caused by them remain. Okay, so yes, that means an explosion still happened. That's what's sounding it, just like with Keiko. The letter she gave me it was a prime example of that. The paper was still there. What she had written had disappeared after elimination. The actions of her writing the letter had been undone. I have a bad feeling about this. If that changes to Naomi's body, as classified as physical damage, a change, then don't tell me. Calm down, let me explain things in order. In order? You're going backwards. Going back a bit further, turns out the major players of Null's Japan branch were all arrested after reports of suspicious objects being found in Shibuya. That occurred after Yu's initial attack on the Yamanote line had been undone by the Divine Selection. The organization itself was already reaching its breaking point, and then one of their operations failed and resulting in the disappearance of the perpetrator. That led to an insider leaking information, causing them all to get arrested. It's been undone too, rather the timing itself has changed. They were arrested right after the Golden Week, which just so happens to coincide with the casualty juncture. All of this due to the insider leaking information out of fear of what a young member of theirs had done. So the attack itself actually happened. Yu's cause of death has become reality once again. That means he's already dead in this current point in time, but it also means so does possibly Naomi, because we died in the exact same attack. His attack only resulted in a few injuries though. The only one to die during the... okay, never mind. The only one that died was the boy himself, who I refer to such as because he hadn't been given the name of Yu at that point. Good point. That's a good point. Makes sense considering I'm alive. If my memory of the incident is right, though, other people died along with me, so something doesn't add up. The explosion took place in the middle of the packed train. The only way no casualties would emerge from that, the only way no casualties would emerge from that is through a miracle. Granted, you could probably call Divine Selection and its alterations to fate a type of miracle. Yeah, you could. It's likely due to you. Fate had forced its hand to keep you alive, I'd assume. So if I die, then the Sea of Flames pop into mind once more. So if we die, not only just do we die, but a bunch of people on the train die, including Naomi as well. Her theory makes sense. All the same, it's not that I intended... It's not what I'm interested in right now. I made it to the point that tells things with fate. I want to know the results. So what happened to the attack on the Mecha? I hear myself go up in anticipation. Well, considering we're going to school, clearly that got undone. Or at least it was... Yeah, it would have to, because he died before then. I have a bad feeling about it, so I don't doubt myself. If I do, then the attack on Mecca on the day of the Culture Festival has been undone. However, the classroom being used as storage for the festival burst out in flames in exchange. Wait a minute. If something still happened, then my verse score was ragged all of a sudden. It almost feels like my heart is completely stopped. Even though that happened, there was no casualties. Injuries, maybe? Then, my pulse returns to normal when I hear that. A sudden fluctuation leaves me a bit lighthearted. Or lightheaded. Lighthearted. Yeah, we'll start making jokes about it. Clearly, good idea, Rinka. With no casualties, then Naomi didn't lose her life, which means she's alive. Naomi's alive. Nero seems less than enthused though, because she's still injured. I'm gonna guess. Didn't take long to figure out why. The fire itself still happened. So it's entirely possible that she's been left badly burned and suffering from other complications. The news didn't go into detail. And well, it's a bit pathetic of me, but I'm a touch scared to learn the truth. I didn't have it in me to call either Mao or Naomi, just in case something happened. Yeah, I think it'd be better just to show up together on this one. I think that might be a good call. I wasn't even sure how to ask them because I still don't know the results of your efforts. Oh, is that it? You don't need to worry about that. As long as she's alive, I'll make sure she's happy. So you're really strong-willed, aren't you? Not at all. I never would have been able to do any of this without help of others. I won't challenge the line of thinking, even if you've helped to confirm the fact that you're the one who deserves to live through all this. That's not quite right. That's not quite the right way to put it. by giving me a puzzled look. I decided to explain myself. It's not about who deserves to live, it's about who has the will to do so. So I take your determination to live. What? To live? Yes, I take it you're determined to live through this now. Yep. I have no issues embracing that desire now. There's one thing I've decided to do besides that, though. It's possible to say that Sonia told us about. The one I'd forgotten, thanks to everything that happened with Naomi. Let me say this loud and clear, Mihiro. Both of us are going to... Hi, Leith. The fact that Leith is here to stop us, that's going to play a big part in this, isn't it? Either way, at least by my count, we've hit the half an hour mark, so I'll call it there. Hopefully you've enjoyed, and hopefully I can see you in the next one. With that, goodbye.